I'd like to say thank you to all the poets who've come out thus far. You guys are all amazing. And honestly, I think these events are how we heal as a society. I think this is how we fix society's problems. We gather. I'm obsessed with conversations. My girlfriend calls me a socialite, and I always like to talk to people. And I think my entire life can be summed up in a series of conversations. At the end of it, I think I'll look back and I'll think about all the amazing people, like the people here today, who have had the opportunity to listen to, and who have had the opportunity to hear speak and speak into me, and who I've perhaps, if I'm lucky, had the opportunity to speak back to. And I think here in this gathering, we're going to speak to one another. We're going to weave the tapestry of our stories. I'm going to get to know, about things I've never heard of, like the Bolex, or Patty's history, or some of the stories that I heard from Akil, or the cello that was played tonight. And we learn a little bit from one another, and then we build this completely different narrative that includes all of us. And that's what we do. We try and build an inclusive space that includes everybody, a space that's about gender, a space that's about race and ethnicity, and everybody's welcome here. And we take back the power in all these words. I love it because this place is kind of like, it's amazing because everybody can get up here and say whatever they want, and all the words are accepted, and we sort of build this cauldron of love. And I think there is nobody better to sort of epitomize what I'm trying to articulate tonight than Raissa Simone. I met Raissa for the first time at the Hawk Talks that are held at the Sleepless Scope. It's kind of like a poetry slam like this. It's all good vibes, and it's all, like an inclusive space. And Raissa's gone on to do some amazing things. She's worked at the Artel, she's worked with Oprah, and she's a very beautiful soul. So you guys get ready to be blown away by the beautiful Raissa Simone.
Oh my goodness, you are all, I don't even know if I can feature right now. You're all better than me. You're all such incredible poets. Can we have a round of applause for all of the great people? I don't know what to do with you. I don't know how to follow that. You're amazing. Is that Emily Wong? You were too. The person I pushed on stage, yeah. I literally got so caught up in all of your words at points that I was just like, why am I, I have to feature, I have to get up there myself, God. What am I gonna do? You were all so incredible, so brave. Thank you for sharing your thoughts, your words, and yourselves on this stage. I have a few poems that I'm going to do for you tonight. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited for Queen's Poetry Slam, who does so much good work in putting this together, and also Kingston Black History Month, who did so much great work. So I have a few poems for you. Before I get into it, I want to talk a little bit about trigger warnings, because I tend to go through my set really, really speedily and quickly. So I'm going to just sort of give a big, massive trigger warning, if that's okay, for the entire set, and just let you know what a lot of the content involves, the kind of poems I write. There are trigger warnings for content around anti-Black racism, around sexual assault, around abuse culture. So if at any point, if you're uncomfortable, if something comes up that you're not feeling good about, feel free to get up, leave, have a smoke, have a glass of water, take care of yourself. This is supposed to be a good space, as mentioned at the beginning by the wonderful Rachel and Danielle, a safe space and accountable space. So I want you all to take care of yourselves. Will you say that you will? Will you promise me? Say yes, say yes. I'm glad to hear it. So that's what a lot of the content in my poems involves. So do keep an eye out for your well-being, keep an eye out for your own heart, for your soul, for where you're at. And just want you to watch out for you here and just take in what feels good for you. And take a step back at any point when you need to. And also before starting, I'd like to thank the land. We are on stolen indigenous land. Yeah. And we know no one's back there. And I feel blessed to be here sharing these stories, and I'm so glad all of you have shared your stories. But it's so important to remember the stories and the people who are here first and here before us. So I find that very important to recognize and speak about while we share our stories in this space. And now I'm going to do some poems for you. Is that okay? Alright. So a lot of my poems, and as you'll notice, they're around a lot of questions. And I'm a person who always, I can fixate on a single question for an entire day. And be like, oh my God, I'm just going to think about this now for like the next 48 hours, and oh my God, what did that mean? And did that person mean this? And what about this dynamic? Oh. And I get myself into flurries. So that's how a lot of my writing develops, is because I just get so caught up in an idea, so enveloped in it. and all the questions people ask me, and all the questions I ask other people, and all the things that we mean to say to each other and then didn't say, or we did say but meant something else. And I've heard a lot of questions in my life, and some of them were jarring, some of them were interesting, and some of those questions go something like, do you like black guys or white guys better? Well, if you're only half black, then I don't see why that joke offended you. That must be so confusing for you. That must be so hard for you. That's hot. If I hear one more fucked up comment coming at me from your supposedly single race mouth, I will. Well, I'll probably just let it slide. Confide to my own mind the hurt that something about the hues of my hide confuses you. You can slice me up like an apple, dissect my parts like the insect you suspect I am, poke at my ribs and pull at my skin, and suddenly I understand what Freud meant when he talked about projection. Because in your binary mind there's black, white, dark, light, weak, might, and the paradox I embody conflicts with your dichotomy, and you tell me I'm confused. But your confusion becomes my confusion when you construct an environment in which we are in forever opposition, where black isn't white and white isn't black, and gray is what you get when someone fights back. Marked as a war zone, you divide my parts, you address me as tension with struggle at heart, and so do I like black guys or white guys better? Or do you mean to ask, are you a black girl in a white girl hide, or a white girl in a black disguise? Are you a reverse double Oreo banana fruit cookie euphemism from the far off land of brown people? My skin does not exist for your inspection, and its color is not the product of a cosmic mistake or a symptom of the aches of your racialized nation. I am not the grand mascot of the post-racial, colorblind, Obama theme park, or the love child of a Romeo Juliet lark, made to pay dues to only one side, but both Langston Hughes and James Joyce use my bookshelf. I am not confused. So, do I like black guys or white guys better? You see, your question suggests that I accept a cultural construction of race that debases me, that an African tongue can't spit back Shanghai because from womb to tomb they place us poles apart, but are we not just a bunch of beating hearts in one room? My cinnamon skin hugs my Irish eyes in steady embrace. My coal-colored curls lace through full lips, and my body knows none of your worldly hostilities. If there are only day and night, then call me sunset. If there are only summer and winter, then call me autumn, and like the copper-toned leaf, don't dismiss my colors, because like autumn, I am fleeting, unfolding, and whole.